People of Sikh faith have been part of BC's cultural fabric for a long time. Well over 100 years, in fact, with some of the first Sikh settlers arriving in BC as early as 1903.
The first immigrants came here mostly from the colonies in Southeast Asia as part of the British Army or the British system, and their first steps were in the shores of British Columbia, in Vancouver mostly, and in Abbotsford or the Fraser Valley the establishment is around 1905.
April is Sikh Heritage Month in Canada, an opportunity to recognize the many ways Sikh Canadians have worked to enrich our community.
For us, April is really an opportunity to honor and celebrate that history of resilience that Sikhs in British Columbia have shown, whether it's through highlighting the stories of early Sikh migrants and their families, or highlighting the various types of legal battles that they've faced, or just the social situation. Because as we know, migrants and minorities of all groups often face a lot of struggle when it comes to establishing a new home and really paving that way for themselves.
A place that really embodies that history is the Sikh Heritage Museum in Abbotsford, which is actually housed at the Gursikh Gurdwara. Built in 1911, it is the oldest Gurdwara or temple in North America.
It's a very important site of living memory, of history, of remembering what the pioneers went through and the settlers went through of the time. But I think at the time when it was built, it was a place for gathering. It was a place to call their own, a sovereign space, because they put up the Nishan Sahib outside and said, this is our space. We are going to worship here and we're going to gather. And then it became a place to fight social causes. So injustices were fought from here.
The newest addition to the museum speaks to that resilient history, a permanent outdoor exhibit dedicated to the Komagata incident, where in 1914, 352 British subjects of Indian descent were denied entry into Vancouver and sent back to India. The exhibit examines the discriminatory Canadian immigration policies they faced and how their story remains relevant today.
Bringing a permanent exhibit of the Komagata Maru that was designed by the Vancouver Maritime Museum was important to us, even this many years later, 107 years later, because everyone that stops here for a moment will read that history. And for a moment, they will reflect on the past. And for a moment, perhaps, it will lay a seed in their soul, in their spirit, to fight injustice, to remember the past, and to say, we also are agents of change, that we can continue to be vigilant and continue to be aware of our surroundings and become politically engaged. Our story is a Canadian story.
To learn more about the exhibit and other events during Sikh Heritage Month, go to sikhheritagemonthbc.ca. Michael Newman, Global News.